Hey guys, welcome to the channel again. You know it's Joe Jaguar. I wanted to show you guys this. I just picked this up on Amazon as well. And what this is a moon and sky glow 1.25" filter for eyepieces. So I wanted to test it out on something, nothing too expensive telescope, a 4-inch f6.5 refractor, my Celestron again. And I just want to see what does it do to the moon and sky glow. Does that mean it's a broadband filter for like nebula filter, or for a light pollution reduction filter? There are 4 levels of this that I consider. So one is like the broadband, then the narrow band, then the O3, and then a very specialized one called H-beta filter. So it's kind of like 4. So I'm just thinking, if this does help with like nebula, and the Orion nebula is still out now, let's test it and see if there's any improvement on it. I'm kind of thinking, does it change the color of the moon? Instead of the moon filters are normally like a gray to reduce the transmission, so it's just not so bright. It won't hurt you by looking with the telescope, but you can see with your naked eye or with your eyes, the moon is fairly bright. So with the telescope, it becomes very uncomfortable, especially when it's closer to the full moon. So normally people would get moon filters for it, but let's see if the claims are correct. So this is a moon and sky glow filter. So I want to test it out, and I will get back to you guys. Okay, everybody. So what I'm going to use, again, I'm not using anything expensive, eyepieces or anything like that. We're going to try the 32 millimeter Meade 4000 series eyepiece. So nothing too expensive, just a super palazzo with a 52-degree field of view. And we're going to try the moon first. And what's going on here? Okay, so I can already see I got a problem. It only barely threads into the Meade eyepieces. I don't know if that's every eyepiece, but there's already a problem on this eyepiece at least. So, okay, the good thing is I got my Celestron CG4 on the mount here, and it's still tracking, so I don't have to move it. So let me just see. What I'm going to do is put the filter on top of the eyepiece. You could do that as well, especially if you're going to be switching a lot of different eyepieces. Instead of threading it in, looking with one eyepiece, taking the eyepiece out, threading it to the next eyepiece, next eyepiece, just hold it with your finger. And okay, so now I can see how bright it is. And I mean, it's okay. I mean, it does dim it a little. I would guess about 10%. Now, that's not a huge difference. It doesn't really change the color much. I think I could see the color fringing a little bit more with this filter. Without the filter, it's just like a yellowishy type of thing around the rim. And with this one, I could see a little bit more clear, but it's still clear with it. So what I'm doing is just putting it in front, taking it away. I would say it's not too bad. So it does dim the moon slightly, maybe 10%, something like that, 12% maximum. I don't think any more. Reduces the glare, but with a full moon, I'm not sure. If you have a larger scope, like 6, 8, 10-inch, I think it's not going to dim it enough. But it's better than nothing, I guess. Okay, it did work on that. What I want to do now is I'm going to close the curtains, and Orion is still up. I'm just using a 4-inch refractor, And so I think Orion's going to be a little bit dim, but I just want to give it a shot and see if I can see Orion's nebula with a 4-inch in a white zone, which is the worst light polluted zone there is. And then try the filter as well and see if it does anything. Does it enhance it? Anything at all? So I'll be back in 1 minute. Okay, so I need a little bit more power because this guy's only 660 millimeter focal length, and it's only a 4-inch refractor. I barely see, and from a white zone, and as you can see from the video, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, it's about 8 street lights hitting me. So again, doing deep sky objects with a small little telescope from a white zone and having these street lights shine directly in your face doesn't work for these deep sky objects. But this later spring, early summer, I am going to be building a blocker. I'm going to show you guys. I already have everything needed, but I just have to finish my more important stuff, like the renos and my, doing videos for you guys, etc. But when I have time on a weekend, I will do it, and then I will actually show you guys how to do this. And then I think deep sky objects should be at least 50% better. Now, it doesn't mean, I'm still in a white zone, so I can't help that. But by blocking all the street lights or any ambient lights, it will let my eyes fully adapt to the dark, and then that way I could see more. But anyway, let's give it a go and see, does this filter help with Orion Nebula at all? Now I got a 10 millimeter radian because I need a little bit more power. And let's see if this filter threads on. And I'm having a hard time threading it on. Yeah, same thing. So it goes about 1 thread in, and I have to refocus again. I think it's just better. Just take it out, put an eyepiece in, and just put it on top. Like hold it with my eye or my hand to the eye lens, and that's it. I can see the 4 trapezoid in Orion Nebula. Very, very faint. Now, if I wasn't in the hobby as long as I have, a new person probably wouldn't even see the nebula because they're not really trained to and don't even know it's there. They would probably bypass it. But I know it's there, and I can see the slightest of glow. And this filter, barely. Now with averted vision, I could see it like double. But just looking directly, the glow is very faint. But when I look averted vision, now if you guys don't know what averted vision is, let's say an object is directly at the middle of the eyepiece, right? What you do with averted vision is look 2/3 up, so not directly where the object is in the center. Look again a few inches up in the field of view, and then your peripheral vision, actually the rods are more sensitive to dim stuff, so you will see it more. So direct viewing, it is a little bit better. Again, I probably would say it enhances it 10%. Yeah. But with averted vision, I could definitely see it at least double. So, okay, so I would say an Orion Nebula is the brightest nebula in the sky, at least in the northern hemisphere. I think the Eta Carinae is also very bright, but we can't see it from here anyway. But as far as this filter, the skyglow and moon, I think it does okay on the moon. It dims the moon by about 10%. It does, you know what I'm gonna do? Sorry, I'm gonna do one more thing before I make my final decision. I do have a broadband filter. This is a 1000 Oaks broadband filter. Now, this one is much more expensive. I think back then I paid like 149 Canadian before tax, so it was about 170 bucks. Now, let's just I'm going to do the same thing. The object slightly moved. I'm going to use the same eyepiece. And I'm just going to put the broadband filter, so a good quality name. I'm sure there's other names that are good quality. So, and let's see if the transmission's better. Okay, looking directly at it, yes. And without it, again, it's just at the edge of detection. With it, direct, I actually see it more than that skyglow one. And with averted vision, even slightly more. So I would say, okay, I mean, it's not too bad. So for a cheapy filter like that, if you can get it cheap enough, because if you can find that guy for 30 to 40 bucks, okay, it might be worth it. Because again, this guy, the Thousand Oaks broadband filter, like I said, I paid $149 before tax, $170 with tax. However, that was at least 20 years ago, maybe even more. So maybe they're a little bit cheaper now, and maybe there are other brands that are slightly cheaper. But I do see it brighter than that cheapy no-name brand. Now, it's not a huge difference, but it is some difference. I would say at least 10%. So on that filter, how I saw it with averted vision, I see it like that with direct vision. And then when I do averted vision with this Thousand Oaks one, then it increases like another 10%. So I think this one increases at least 10% more than that. 10 to 15%, I guess I would say. So I would say it's not bad. If you're on a budget and you can't afford one of the more expensive filters or the name brand ones, then sure, buy that Amazon one, the Moon and skyglow. It'll do okay for now until you could save up more money to buy a more expensive filter. Also, you can also do a used, like look on the used market, and you can try to find one that way. Let me just open the curtains for you guys so you can see a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. But also, remember too, now maybe if you take this cheapy filter out to dark skies instead of a white zone, it probably might be okay then too. You probably will increase the contrast as well. So, you know, if you can find this guy fairly cheap, $30 to $39, let's say, it's not bad considering it's new. You can find the good filters used for about $99. Maybe sometimes if they're a little bit more worn, a little cheaper. Again, that's Canadian I'm talking about. So that's basically it. Anyway, hope you guys like this video. It's this filter from Amazon called the Moon and Skyglow filter. And comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.